Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to my channel. So excited that you're here today. And today we're going to be talking about how to build a business that doesn't require you to sacrifice your health. I'm going to repeat that, how to build a business that doesn't require you to sacrifice your health. And welcome back to the Courageous Woman Network. I just want to ask you a question, ladies, right now. Just get your pencil and paper out and let's dig in and let's go. If your business is thriving, but you're falling apart, that is not success. That is a well-dressed breakdown. I'm telling you, it's a well-dressed breakdown. So I want you to grab your coffee or your favorite beverage and let's get in, take some notes on your phone, however you do some note taking. But this is for you today because so many of us are building a business and we're sacrificing our health. So today I'm just going to jump in and just give you a few points that I think that are relevant to you, relevant for you, and that you can have some takeaways from this. Definitely want to start implementing right away. We don't want to be stuck. We want to live as courageous women. So let's jump in. If you're ready, I'm ready. And if you see me looking down, I'm looking at notes because that's just how I roll. But you're going to get the true nuggets because I am the divine disruptor. So the design flaw that we all have is that we can hustle and flow, that we're service-based businesses and we're not building for sustainability. We're just out here building an income. Sustainability is those for the long haul. You got to be in for the long haul. It's not just a little bit here and a little bit there, but we've got to be in for the long haul so that you don't burn out and so that you don't self-sacrifice yourself and you don't sacrifice your health. That's the most important thing. And oftentimes women, men too, feel like that's a design flaw because you feel like you've got to keep hustling, you got to keep moving because you're trying to build that income, but that is not sustainability. In order for you to do that, we've got to stop the hustle and the grind and stop trying to get a badge of honor in that because that is not helping us, ladies and gentlemen. Our health is so much more important. I had a conversation today with someone and we began talking. And as she began to reveal, she said, I had to take a step back for my health. And these were things that I had been saying anyway along the way, but that's a personal friend. But when your health is not where it needs to be, everything else doesn't matter. And so start looking at things that way, not hustle. What can you do to maintain your health? Ask yourself questions. How can you build your business to sustainability? Who do you need to invite in order to do that? Because oftentimes we feel like we have to do it all on our own. We can't do it all on our own. Trust me, you really, really cannot. So another flaw that I see is in our structural decisions. Our structural decisions are all built around me, myself, and I, meaning that we're operating as solopreneurs without inviting anybody in for help. Once again, that structure means that you're chronically overworking, you're chronically overwhelmed, and the stress levels are insurmountable. Then we start talking about bitterness, we start talking about anger issues, moodiness, and all the things that go into leading you up to burnout. And that's not what we want. We don't want to live in a stress bubble. We want to figure out how we're not the only architect, because a lot of you out there are wearing it like a badge of honor that I've got so many things and my list tops yours. This is not a badge of honor type of thing. This is leading to something that you really don't want, and you're sacrificing your own health. So let me ask you, when's the last time you did your doctor's appointments and kept up with those things? The things that are important to your livelihood is your body and your mental stability up here. If those things aren't in place, then there will be no business. So let's not sacrifice our health for our business. That is a no, no to the no. So if you're hearing me, I've already talked about the design flaw, that we're architects of our own future and our own destiny. What are you going to change about that? And then structural, all it's going to lead up to when we do it all ourselves is the bottleneck. And when things get into the bottleneck, then it's difficult to come out of that. I mean, you're reaching in, you can't get your hand in and bring anything out. Bottlenecks get stuck. Your energy levels aren't there, your mindset is not there, And that causes businesses to crumble because you're not healthy. Healthy is not just physical, healthy is mental also. Your mental stability, your mindset, your thinking. You know, as a divine disruptor, I help people to disrupt the habits and the patterns and the thinking that holds you down, that keeps you stuck, that keeps you bound, because you're not operating efficiently. So let's take a look at your structural decisions. You know, what are you doing? What can you leave out? What can you do later? What can you do tomorrow? How are you organizing yourself? As I'm talking, I hope that something is jumping off in your spirit that leads to you knowing that I need to make some changes and I need to make them today, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's not promised, but today, 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 today. So another point would be your energy level. So a lot of us have energy at different times of the day. Some people have energy at night. Some people are morning people. I don't know what your time of day is, but for me, morning to mid-morning is best for me. But it depends on your work schedule. If you have a 9 to 5, you may be someone that works at night and has to sleep in the morning and midday is your time. Only you know when your time is. But we need to find what we call that gold zone, where you're up and where you're on and where you're your sharpest so that you can produce and have that business that is sufficient for you so that you can have the proper time to rest. So think about that. What is your concept? What is your moment of the day or the night, whatever your schedule is, when you are on, when that is your perfect time to work? You know, there was an expert that said if you could just find 1 hour a day, 1 hour a day to really drive it in and do your best in that 1 hour. Because now with a 24-hour global economy, 24-hour this, 24-hour that, we really have to buckle down and find some other way, better ways to operate. I'll just say that, better ways to operate so that we're not sacrificing not only our health, but the other parts of our life, because many of you are missing out on things because you feel like it's got to be done and it's got to be done now. And I'm asking you to stop for a minute and just pause and breathe and reflect. Does it really need to be done right now? Do you really need to break your doctor's appointment that you had to reschedule a couple of times? And if you know, like I know, trying to get in to see a doctor nowadays is really, really tough. So make yourself a priority. That's all this is saying, is make yourself a priority so that you don't suffer and it doesn't lead to suffering in your business. And then health first, as I'm talking about that, your energy zone, your health first, your health matters. You matter. Your family matters. Your obligations matter. And if you don't take care of those things, there will be no business. There will be no career because you'll be flat on your back. So what are you thinking at this point when I'm speaking about this? I'm sure it's resonating with someone out there because I have been a victim myself. That's why I teach these kinds of things, because I know that I fell into the trap and I do this for a living. So I had to pull myself back in so that it could register with me too. And these are some of the strategies that I've learned. It's taking a stand, delegating. Maybe it's not today, maybe I'll get to it tomorrow. Organizing the things that I need to do, the important things, and then prioritizing them. You know, you can't do it all in a day. We only have so much time and energy. And I think about, when is my best time of the day to get some of the things done? Rather than wait late at night when I'm kind of winding down, I like to get my things done mid-morning, mid-afternoon. That's when the big rocks get taken care of. But you have to look at your life and your obligations, you know, picking up kids or taking care of elderly or taking care of mothers and fathers who, now we have the sandwich generation, but you're still trying to operate. I hear you and I see you and I feel you. I really do. So I'm hoping that some of this is resonating with you. I don't want you to have to choose between having a thriving business and over a thriving life. I mean, we don't want to start playing those kinds of games because that's not a win-win. We don't want to be thriving here and not thriving there. We want to try to put these things together. How can they be put together harmoniously so that you can have the best of both worlds and achieve the $1 million goals that I know that you have, and so do I. So how can you choose to build differently? Think about some of the things that I just said and take note of that. This is serious stuff, folks, because I see people strapped like this all the time. They're into the hustle motif versus being whole. I'm out here hustling and grinding, but then you're not whole. You're not living your best life. You're not living a well-rounded life because you're spending too much time in this quadrant and everything else suffers. And true to that, because of the type of work that I've been doing for years, it does show up because then people will be honest with themselves and say, I didn't make my kids' game. I didn't go to check on mom. My brother needed me, but I wasn't able to get there. The deadlines were piling up, and I just kept saying, I don't have time. And then guess what? These people sometimes will die on you. They don't have time for you. They dismiss you because you haven't been there for them. And so they don't feel like they can trust you. So stop in your tracks right now, and let's rethink some of the things that we're doing to live in a better way as businessmen and women. I'm talking to my faith-driven women, my faith-driven men. God did not call us to be on a hustle grind, to be just running, ripping and running. We should really be linear focused. Multitasking, if you think it works for you, it really doesn't. Science shows it, but I'm not going to sit here and argue about that, okay? So today it's about not sacrificing your business because you're not sacrificing your health. You're sacrificing your health, really. I'm getting tongue-tied here, but we don't want to do that. We don't want to sacrifice our health just to have a $1 million business, because that doesn't serve you. And you don't even get a chance to enjoy the money if you are around to enjoy it, because people are having medical issues, severe medical issues all day long, and we don't want that. So listen, I hope that you will pick up one of these things and start doing it, whether that's organizing yourself, delegating yourself, make those doctor's appointments and keep them. Take a look at your mindset. What time is best for you during the day? What's your goal zone time? When are you on for the best time of your day? Morning, noon, night? Some people wait till everybody goes to bed and they start rocking it out all night. I don't know, but I know you need to get in the lane and choose one, because that is how you're going to succeed. And that's how your business is going to grow and flow. So listen, I thank you so much. And as always, I'd like to close with my favorite statement. Until next time, lead courageously, live intentionally, and never forget, you were not made for burnout. All right, signing off until next time. Thank you, love, like, and share, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.